another reading of Taken Abroad by Lauren Armstrong. So sit back, relax, get yourself a cup of wheat coffee, and let's delve into this. Today we're going to be reading chapter 8. So let's get started. The wedding day came, and Brooke and Aaron had both gotten sick before the ceremony. Aaron got sick because of his nerves, and Brooke got sick because of morning sickness from her being pregnant. Aaron lost his train of thought and strengthened his knees when Brooke entered the aisle and he fell to the floor. He quickly reined himself and slid back in embarrassment all over his face. He was completely stunned by Brooke's beauty in her wedding dress. His palms grew sweaty and his breath got heavy as Brooke slowly approached him. Derek, being Aaron's best man, had to quietly whisper some of Aaron's lines to him because he was so nervous he kept forgetting them. He was relieved when Blake, proudly being his ring bearer, had lifted the small pillow up to Aaron and Brooke so he could slide the ring on each other's fingers. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride, the preacher finished. Aaron lifted Brooke's veil and placed a short but romantic kiss upon Brooke's lip. They both smiled with love at their eyes and began to walk out of the church. At the reception, Amy caught the bouquet and hugged Brooke before her, and Aaron left for the honeymoon. They didn't really have much of a honeymoon because they were saving all their money they could for when the baby arrived. They settled for a weekend away from home in a nice hotel to serve as their honeymoon with discussion maybe in the future when they have a real honeymoon. But for now, they're happy sacrificing for the future bills with the baby. Time went on after the wedding, and Brooke was already in her 8th month of pregnancy. I can't believe how fast time has gone by. It seems like it was just yesterday we got married. Oh. I can't believe how fast time gone by. It seems like we just yesterday we got married, Brooke told Aaron as they lay in bed with her arms wrapped around him. Yup. Are you ready to be a mom in about 2 weeks? Aaron asked her. Yes, I am. Are you ready to be a daddy? It's your turn. Yes, I am, he answered with sincerity. We still have to think about what we're going to give our baby for a name, Brooke stated. Maybe we should have the doctor tell us what the sex the baby is so we can choose a name for what we want with it. I thought we agreed we wanted it to be. Wait. Oh shit, she's still going on. Okay, never mind. Maybe we should have the doctor tell us that the sex the baby is so we can choose the name for what we wanted. Well, I thought we agreed that we wanted it to be a surprise, Aaron asked. We did, Brooke said with anxiousness in her voice. But I just thought it'd be nice to have a name ready to give it when it arrives. Well, why don't we choose a name for if it's a boy and a name for if it's a girl? Aaron asked. That's a good idea, Brooke agreed. With everything else going on, I wish I had thought about that sooner. They sat up for 3 hours that night thinking of names of people in their families, names they liked, and other names that they thought their own. Brooke had told Aaron to keep Sunday open and not make any plans to go through the baby name book she had gotten to decide the names they would use for their baby. Sunday came around and Brooke and Aaron spent the day on the couch at the kitchen table going through the baby name book. Around 5 p.m., when Brooke was standing at the stove stirring the macaroni in the boiling water, she felt something wet rushing down her leg. She looked down to find her pants soaked with water. Oh no, she thought to herself. Aaron, she muttered. Yeah, he asked as he walked towards her and looked down and saw her pants soaked. What happened? He asked. My water broke, she replied. Oh shit, he replied, muttered as he grew nervous and excited at the same time. Brooke reached over and turned the burners to the stove in the off position. Grab my purse, she ordered. Aaron grabbed her purse and the car keys and quickly came to Brooke's side to help her into the car. He carefully helped her in and then climbed in himself and fled to the hospital as fast and as safe as possible he could. He called the hospital on the way so they'd be ready and waiting at the emergency entrance. Once they arrived, put Brooke in the wheelchair and rolled her to the living room. Aaron's nerves were shot when his mother showed up 12 hours later. Why is it taking so long for the baby to come out? He asked his mother quietly as she stepped away from Brooke's side for a moment. That's natural, she answered him. I was in labor with you for 23 hours. When her contractions get closer together, the baby will come out. I talked to the doctor. They assured me everything was fine with Brooke and the baby, so you don't have to worry about Daddy. His mom says surely. Thank you, Grammy, Anne retorted with a nervous smile. 6 more hours went by and the baby finally decided to come into the world. The doctor didn't have to tell Aaron and Brooke what sex their baby was. They could see for themselves when the doctor cut the cord. It was a boy. Aaron felt very proud. He would have felt just as proud if he had been a girl, but now he is a daddy, and that made him proud. We still don't have a name picked out for him yet, Brooke said with a heavy sigh and a yawn. You can pick the name out pick out. Hold on. You can pick a name out for him later, the doctor interrupted. Right now, we're taking the baby to get him cleaned up and blood taken for tests, and all I want you, he pointed to Brooke, to get some much needed rest. What are the tests for? Aaron asked worriedly. Nothing to be concerned about, the doctor assured him. It's all routine so that we find out the baby's blood type and all that good information. Oh, okay, Aaron sighed and relaxed. The nurse took the baby from Brooke's arms and followed the doctor out of the room. Brooke hated to release her newborn baby, and her eyes began to tear as she did. She was very tired and really needed the rest that the doctor had ordered. You go home and get some sleep if you want to, Mom, Aaron said as he noticed his mother's eyes began to close while sitting in the only chair in the room. No, I want you to go lay in the couch in the waiting room and get some sleep. The, the administrative lady said that it's always so this time of night, so you won't bother anyone in the waiting room. I'll stay here with Brooke while she's sleeping. His mother replied. All right, I'll come back as soon as I wake you up. As soon as I wake up, I love you, Aaron told Brooke as he kissed her and left the room. Like, now you close your eyes and get some sleep, Aaron told Brooke with a pat her hand. I'm gonna send this chair and knit my new grandson an outfit, and I'll be right here when you wake up. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Brooke said with a tired smile and then closed her eyes and went to sleep. Around 6 o'clock a.m., Aaron woke up and looked around around him. It took him a moment to realize where he was and why. He sat up and rubbed his eyes into focus and made his way into Brooke's room. He walked in and found his mother putting the finishing touches on the grandson's new outfit, and that she worked tirelessly all through the night. He had looked to see that Brooke was still sleeping. Did you sleep well? His mother asked in a whisper. Yes, I did. Did you get any sleep? He asked with any concern. Nope, she said with a grin. I was too busy working on my new grandson's outfit to sleep. Why don't you why don't you go to the cafeteria and get us a bite to eat and some coffee? His mother suggested. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes, he replied. On the way to the cafeteria and back, Aaron began thinking up names for his son. He almost spilled his two coffees on the way back to the room because his mind was drifting off, thinking about his son. He returned to the room to find Brooke, now awake. Looking in awe at the outfit that Aaron's mother had knit that night. It was blue with white trim on the sleeves along the line of buttons. It's so adorable, she said. She thanked her mother-in-law. Hi, honey. Hi, honey, she said to Aaron. Hi, Aaron says, replied after he handed the coffee and Danishes to his mother and sat on a small table in the corner room. Um, how are you feeling? He asked, bent over and kissed her lips. I'm feeling much better now that I got some rest, she replied. I've been thinking about the baby's name, Aaron said. Do you like the name Trevor? He asked her. Yes, I do. How about Trevor Michael? She asked in return. Aaron thought for a moment, then said the name out loud so he could hear. Trevor Michael. Trevor Michael, he said a second time. I like it, he answered and kissed her. I guess we have a name for him now, Brooke says. He took Aaron's hand in hers. That's good. A voice said from the. Oh, shit. That's good, a voice from the doorway. Because you have to fill out baby's birth certificate. A nurse walked in behind the doctor with the baby in her arms and bent over to gently place the baby in Brooke's arms. Aaron looked at Brooke and the baby and his mother proudly. We'll be able to take the baby home, Aaron asked. Tomorrow. All you need to do today is all the paperwork. The hard part is all over now, the doctor replied. Thank you, doctor, Aaron said and shook the doctor's hand. Save my cigar, the doctor said jokingly. I'll smoke it when my shift's over. They all smiled at the doctor's remark and watched them walk out of the room and then turn their attention back to the baby. They all enjoyed the baby with them for 2 hours before a nurse came in to take the baby back to the nursery. Aaron's mother finally decided to go home and get some sleep. I'll come over to your house tomorrow. Just call me when you get home, and I'll help you take care of the baby for a couple of days so you can get used to a new coma. She said before she left. Aaron sat down beside his wife and shared his Danish and coffee with her. The doctor came in when they finished the Danish with the paperwork for a baby's birth certificate and insurance, and a dozen other forms needed to fill out for the hospital. It took them until 3 p.m. to finish filing them out. The nurse made the bed next to Brooke so that Aaron could sleep in the same room with Brooke that night instead of the waiting room on the couch. When morning arrived, Aaron went to the cafeteria to get Danish and coffee for him and Brooke. He stopped by the nursery on his way back to Pekin. He smiled at the nurse that was inside changing the baby's diapers, then on his way to Brooke. Aaron walked back in the room to find a nurse taking Brooke's blood pressure and heartbeat.
How's everything look?
Aaron asked the nurse to turn around quickly, surprised at Aaron's voice. She's going to go home with the baby today, she told him.
Good. I was hoping someone would tell me that, Aaron replied. What time can I take them home?
As soon as the doctor comes in, gives you the okay to do so, he should be here soon. Congratulations to you both, the nurse said before leaving the room. About 10 minutes later, the doctor came into the room with Aaron and Brooke and signed some papers and told him that as soon as Brooke was dressed, he could wheel her to the lobby and the nurse would meet them with their baby. Aaron helped Brooke off the bed and grabbed her clothes for her from across the room after the doctor left. Once she dressed and helped her ease in the wheelchair and then wheeled her to the front door, the nurse was waiting for them with the baby. Brooke held the baby close to her as Aaron wheeled out front and moved from both of them wheelchair to the car. On the way home, Aaron called his mother.
Hi, Mom. Brooke and I should be there in about 30 minutes, he informed her.
Okay, I'll be there in about 1 hour, unless you want me to get to wait a little longer, she replied.
No, 1 hour would be great. Brooke and I both feel a lot better with you there for a couple of days to help us out, he said.
Okay, I'll see you 1 hour then. Aaron hung up the phone, feeling relieved that his mother would be there to help them with the baby. They both were a little nervous about becoming parents and didn't want anything to happen to their baby because of lack of knowledge. Aaron helped Brooke into the house with the baby in her arms. After getting them settled and comfortable on the couch, he returned to the car to retrieve the rest of the things they received from the hospital, along with a new baby outfit that the mother knitted. He returned to the house with the arms full. The baby was already crying. He set all the items on the table and rushed to Brooke's side.
Is he all right?
He asked whirling. Yes, she answered. He's just hungry. Can you hand me his bottle? It's on the counter. Aaron fisted the bottle and handed it to Brooke. As soon as the nipple was in the baby's mouth, the wailing ceased. Aaron was relieved to see that Brooke was right about the reason the baby was crying. He heard his mother's horn sound on the car as she pulled it into the driveway and opened the door and shouted,
Hi, Grandma. Do you need help with anything?
Aaron asked his mother. No, I don't, Daddy. I got it all just fine, she retorted as she closed the door and began walking towards the house. Aaron waited for his mother with the door open and closed behind her when she was inside. Hi, Brooke. I see it didn't take long for the baby to get hungry, huh? Aaron's mother smiled at the sight of her daughter-in-law and the new grandson on the couch. It made her happy to see her son's life coming together so well. No, it didn't. He's taking it quite fast too, Brooke replied. You might want to try to burp him after he drinks a couple ounces. If you don't, he'll get a bellyache, his mother suggested. Brooke removed the bottle to see how much the baby had drank already. It read 3 ounces. She let the bottle down, moved the baby's head up to her shoulder, and began rubbing the baby's back lightly, and an upward motion helped push the air in his belly. The baby began wailing again. All of a sudden, a small belch came. The baby stopped crying after he belched, so Brooke cradled and rocked him until he fell asleep. Aaron, you should take the baby from Brooke and set him in the crib. Brooke's falling asleep. I'm sure a nap would do her some good, his mother said. Aaron did as his mother recommended and turned the baby monitor on high and set it to the crib near the baby so they'd be able to hear him better. After the monitor is in place, he returned to the living room to help Brooke from the couch to the bedroom. Once he helped her get comfortable in the bed, he kissed her and told her he loved her and went back to the kitchen to have a cup of coffee and chat with his mom. Around 5 o'clock p.m., Aaron and his mother began making dinner. Brooke and the baby had been sleeping for 1.5 hours, as they figured they'd better get the dinner made in case the baby woke up. Aaron pulled some spaghetti out the cupboard and broke it in half in the boiling hot water. Then over the baby monitor, he heard the baby begin to wail again. Stay right there. Stay right there and tend to the food. I'll go check on him, his mother ordered with a slight smile. Aaron turned and grinned after seeing the anxious look on his mother's face, but she quickly left the room to check on the baby. He knew his mother had picked the baby up when the wailing stopped and the baby monitor turned silent. A few minutes later, his mother returned to the kitchen, still wearing a smile. He's so adorable. He is so adorable. Nothing like you was, she teased.
Gee, thanks, Mom,
He replied. Eric continued to stir the sauce of his spaghetti as his mother set out 3 plates and 3 large drinking glasses on the table with utensils, butter, salt, and pepper. With the spaghetti was done, his mother pulled out the colander on the bottom cupboard and placed it in the sink to strain the water from the spaghetti.
Why don't you go wake up Brooke and I'll finish the spaghetti sauce and bread on the table?
His mother says she can continue to work, setting a large stir spoon down on the napkin on the counter. He made his way to the bedroom, where Brooke was sound asleep. He shook her gently to wake her. Slowly, she looked up at him, began rubbing her eyes. Hi, hi, honey, he screamed him. Is the baby all right? She asked. Yes, he's fine. Just came in to wake you up for dinner, he replied. What time is it? She asked. Almost 6:30 p.m. Okay, let me go to the bathroom and wash up, then I'll be out, Brooke said as she Brooke said she began to remove her tired body from the bed. Okay, I'll be waiting for you, Aaron said in return. Aaron returned to the kitchen, grabbed some milk from the refrigerator, then filled all 3 glasses. Why the hell are you going to drink that with spaghetti? What is wrong with you? Ugh. Is Brooke awake? His mother asked.
Yes, she's washing up. Then she'll be out.
He answered. Brooke entered the room just as Aaron and his mother sat down at the table. The food smells good, she complimented. It's nothing special, just a quick meal, Aaron's mother replied. Still smells good to me, Brooke returned, especially after having hospital food. Yeah, I can see why this would smell so good to you after having hospital food for 2 days, Aaron's mother responded. Brooke no sooner finished eating her plate full of spaghetti when she heard a loud cry come from the baby monitor. Honey, can you go get him and bring him to me, please? Brooke asked Aaron. Aaron knew she was still sore from having the baby and was trying not to move around much, so he did as she asked. We returned. She had made her way to the sofa and was waiting to take the baby from him. Once he laid the baby in her arms, he fetched a fresh bottle of milk and a hand towel to lay over her shoulder for when she burped the baby. Brooke fed and burped the baby while Aaron and his mother cleaned the table and did the dishes. Once the dishes were finished, they retreated to the living room to watch TV for the rest of the night until bedtime. Morning came early for Aaron's mother because she placed the baby monitor on the coffee table by the couch where she slept. The baby only woke up twice during the night, once at 1 a.m. and again at 4 a.m. He didn't go back to sleep until 5:30 a.m. So Aaron's mother figured she might as well make some coffee and consider herself awake for the day. The smell of the fresh coffee brewing woke both Brooke and Aaron up from their much needed sleep. They both threw their robes on and stumbled into the kitchen when they shared a look as they just swallowed heaven when they tasted the coffee. You two look like you're in love with the coffee cups, Aaron's mother said as she laughed. That's because we are, Aaron replied. Next couple of days went by. Aaron and Brooke couldn't have been more thankful to Aaron's mother for staying with them and helping with the baby while Brooke was healing and they're both getting used to the baby's presence. They both felt sadness grow inside them when they watched Aaron's mother drive away. Over the next couple of months, they had family and friends coming in and out to see and welcome the new member of their family. Aaron had never taken so many pictures in his life as he did in the first 6 months of little Trevor's life. He couldn't believe how much his son had grown in such a short amount of time. Aaron worked as many hours as he could at the garage so that Brooke could stay home with the baby. He usually got in a 55-hour work week. So, let's see. Where was I? He usually got in a 55-hour work week so they're able to live good and still be able to save a small amount of money from every paycheck because he made it better than the average hourly wage. Soon after Trevor Michael, um, where the fuck? Oh, here we go. Soon after Michael had turned a year old, Aaron began having some of his nightmares again. He'd wake up in a cold sweat, have to carefully get um, out of bed so he wouldn't wake Brooke. He normally went to the bathroom and splashed his face clean, took a few deep breaths, then go back to bed and be able to sleep fine the rest of the night. However, there's one night that the nightmare had been so bad that he woke himself up screaming. He sat up straight in the bed and found Brooke was on the floor. He scared the dickens out of her and she jumped awake and just landed with a thud on the floor. Brooke reached to turn light on the lamp that sat on her nightstand. She needed to see better than with the nightlight would allow. When his room, she could see more. She found Aaron drenched in sweat and shaking all over. His eyes were soaked with tears. Brooke was stunned. She quickly climbed back in the bed and placed her hand on his sweaty face. Are you all right? She asked worriedly. Aaron's breathing heavily as he exhausted and answered back to her. Yeah, I just had a bad dream. I'm sorry I woke you up, honey. It's all right. Shit. Where the fuck was I? It's all right. Do you want to talk about it? She asked in deep concern. No, I think I just need a drink to cool myself down and a quick shower and I'll be all right, he replied. Aaron got up and went to the kitchen for a tall glass of milk. He peeked in to check on Trevor Michael on his way to the bathroom. Still asleep. Thank God I didn't wake up too, he said quietly to himself as he pulled the door closed behind him and got into the shower. Once he's under the cool water, he began to feel his eyes tearing up because of the nightmare he had. Why am I going through this? Why am I having these nightmares all over again? He asked himself. After spending an hour under the cool water trying to regain himself, Aaron dried himself off and returned to bed. Brooke had gone back to sleep, so he didn't bother calling up with her. Instead, he lay there with his eyes open, staring blindly into the dark until daylight began showing through the window. He looked over at the alarm clock and it read 5:32 a.m. He threw some jeans on and a t-shirt without waking Brooke and went to the kitchen and made himself some coffee. About a half hour later, Trevor Michael began talking. Aaron went to check on him. He found him standing at the edge of his crib, mumbling as he was rubbing his little finger back and forth on top of the crib rail. He looked up when he saw Aaron swing the door open and reach his little arms out straight for his dad to pick him up and take him out of the crib. Aaron walked toward his son and did as his son wished. After all, he had him in his arms. Aaron realized he should have changed Trevor's diaper before picking him up because now he had baby poop and pee on his arm and his t-shirt. Well, I guess you got the best daddy this morning, didn't you? Aaron said to his son with a bland look on his face. Trevor looked at his dad and giggled as Aaron sat him down on the changing table and began changing Trevor's diaper. Once he's finished with the smelly task, he put on Trevor's socks and coveralls to clean off his own arm. Clean off his own. Fucking missed it. Where the hell did it go? Cleaned off his own arm when he picked up Trevor and turned around. Brooke was standing there watching Aaron in admiration. Mom! Trevor muttered as he reached out his hand to his mother to take over. Brooke took Trevor from Aaron and then leaned her head towards Aaron to give him a kiss. Aaron adored the sight in front of him and Brooke could see it all over his face. They both turned and walked to the table and Aaron pulled a high chair and for Brooke to place Trevor in it. They let Trevor feed himself and scrambled eggs gave him and they ate French toast. There was quite a mess to clean off the high chair when Trevor was finished, but he seemed to enjoy what he ate of his breakfast. After Brooke got Trevor cleaned up and Aaron got the mess clean from the high chair and the table, they put Trevor in the playpen and let him play while they sat with their coffee cups at the table. I want to talk about the nightmare you had last night, Brooke blurted out. Aaron looked at her in surprise. He didn't think that she'd bring it up, or at least he was hoping she wouldn't. I'd rather really not talk about that, honey, he replied. I do, she demanded. What happened last night scared me. I think it's important to talk about it. All right, I'm sorry I scared you. I don't know why my nightmare is as bad as it was. It scared me too, he exclaimed. Lily, please go see a psychiatrist for me and Trevor, at least. There's obviously some things that are still bothering you from the war. It's just have the look of worry and emotion. Aaron let out a deep sigh. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'll be back in a little while. Aaron kissed him on the lips. Aaron kissed her on the lips and gave her a squeeze on the shoulder. They turned and walked out the door. Brooke walked to the window and watched him as he walked down the driveway. All right, that does it for chapter 8. We'll go back with chapter 9 soon enough. Thanks for joining.